Hello friends, this world is full of secrets. Something happens in the world that shakes our heart and mind. Friends, like there is a human being in the world, there is God, but there is also some unique evil power or soul. In the world, the fight between humans and the devil is going on for ages, which we and you cannot stop. Such suspense thrillers have come up with horror-filled stories. The Night Doorbell presenting The Devil Show. This story's title is The Ghostly Apparition. In the quiet, sleepy town of Willowbrook, nestled amidst thick woods and a winding river, a chilling legend loomed. Locals whispered about the ghostly apparition, a sinister presence said to haunt the long-abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town. Those who dared to venture near the decrepit building spoke of eerie noises, flickering lights, and a cold dread that clung to their very souls. One gloomy autumn evening, a group of friends gathered at a cozy cafe in the heart of Willowbrook. Among them was Alex, a curious and skeptical individual with a penchant for unraveling mysteries. The talk inevitably turned to the fabled mansion, and the group found themselves discussing whether the ghostly apparition was real or merely a product of overactive imaginations. As the night wore on, the friends decided to embark on an adventure, convinced that they could debunk the supernatural tales surrounding the mansion. Armed with flashlights, cameras, and their collective courage, they set off toward the ominous structure that had captured their imagination for years. The journey through the darkened woods was fraught with anticipation. Branches creaked like ancient bones, and the rustling of leaves echoed like whispers in the night. Finally, the mansion loomed before them, a haunting silhouette against the moonlit sky. They cautiously approached the mansion's towering iron gates, now enveloped in vines and decay. The entrance was eerily ajar, as though an invitation had been extended. Steeling their nerves, they ventured inside. The mansion's interior was a labyrinth of forgotten rooms and shadowed hallways. Cobwebs clung to the walls, and dust hung heavy in the air. The group split up, each member exploring a different part of the mansion, while Alex remained in the grand foyer. As Alex wandered through the foyer, an unsettling feeling washed over them. It was as though they were being watched by unseen eyes. The atmosphere grew icy, and their flashlight flickered. But they shrugged it off as mere nerves, determined to prove that there was no truth to the legend. In another part of the mansion, a chilling discovery awaited one of the friends. A room filled with old photographs revealed images of people who had once inhabited the mansion, their faces twisted in agony. As they gazed at the photographs, a ghostly figure materialized before them, a woman in a tattered wedding gown, her eyes hollow and her presence suffused with sorrow. Terrified, the friends stumbled back and fled the room, gasping for breath. They recounted the encounter to the others, their voices trembling. Alex, however, remained skeptical, dismissing the experience as a trick of the mind. Hours passed as they continued to explore the mansion's eerie depths. Each room held its own secrets and, for some, its own horrors. A sense of foreboding gripped the group, as if the mansion itself were alive, breathing, and watching their every move. As the night deepened, they regrouped in the grand foyer. It was then that Alex's skepticism began to waver. They had captured unsettling images on their cameras, apparitions that defied explanation, orbs of light that danced in the darkness, and disembodied voices that whispered incoherent words. Suddenly, the mansion's atmosphere shifted. The air grew heavy, and the temperature plummeted. An otherworldly presence enveloped them, and the group felt as though they were no longer alone. Shadows danced on the walls, coalescing into a figure, a woman, clad in a wedding gown, her face obscured by a veil. It was the same apparition their friend had encountered earlier, and she emanated an aura of sadness and longing. The group watched in paralyzed horror as the ghostly figure glided toward them, her footsteps soundless on the decaying floorboards. With a trembling voice, Alex called out, "Who are you? What do you want?" But the ghostly figure remained silent, her mournful eyes fixed on the group. It was as though she were trying to convey a message, a story untold. In a desperate bid to communicate, Alex took out a voice recorder and asked questions, hoping for a response. "Why are you here? What happened to you?" The air crackled with tension, and then, a faint whisper emerged, a voice from beyond the grave. "I was betrayed, trapped, left to wander," the words sent shivers down their spines. It was a cryptic message, yet it hinted at a tragic fate. The ghostly figure beckoned them, her spectral hand outstretched. The group exchanged fearful glances but, driven by a mixture of fear and curiosity, they followed the apparition deeper into the mansion. She led them to a hidden chamber, concealed behind a forgotten tapestry. In the center of the room stood an old, ornate mirror, its surface etched with cryptic symbols. The ghostly figure pointed to the mirror, her eyes filled with a desperate plead. As Alex approached the mirror, a swirling vortex of darkness engulfed them. The room vanished, and they found themselves in a different time, a time when the mansion was alive with activity, and the woman in the wedding gown was very much alive. They witnessed a heartbreaking scene, a betrayal that had taken place within these very walls. The woman, whose name was Evelyn, had been deeply in love with a man named Samuel. But Samuel had conspired with her own sister, Isabella, to steal her inheritance and leave her destitute. Evelyn's voice echoed through the room as she cried out in despair, her pleas falling on deaf ears. The betrayal had driven her to the brink of madness, and in a fit of anguish, she had taken her own life, her spirit forever trapped within the mansion's cursed walls. As the vision faded, Alex stood in stunned silence, the weight of Evelyn's tragic story settling upon them. They realized that the ghostly apparition was not a malevolent presence but a tormented soul seeking justice and release. With newfound determination, they turned to the mirror, determined to unravel the curse that bound Evelyn to the mansion. Guided by the symbols etched on its surface, they began a ritual of redemption and forgiveness. As they chanted the incantation, the mansion trembled, and a blinding light erupted from the mirror. The very fabric of time and space seemed to warp and twist. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, the ritual was complete. Evelyn's ghostly figure stood before them once more, but this time, her countenance had transformed. Her eyes held a sense of peace, and a faint smile graced her lips. With a whisper of gratitude, she dissolved into a shimmering mist that dissipated into the air. The mansion, no longer haunted by the curse, seemed to sigh in relief. Its dark, foreboding atmosphere lifted, replaced by a sense of tranquility and serenity. The friends, weary but victorious, left the mansion behind, knowing that they had played a part in setting Evelyn's spirit free. Word of their encounter spread through Willowbrook, forever altering the town's perception of the mansion. No longer a place of dread, it became a symbol of redemption and forgiveness. Locals visited to pay their respects to Evelyn, leaving flowers and tokens of sympathy by the mirror that had once held her captive. As for Alex and their friends, they couldn't forget the profound experience they had shared. The events of that fateful night had forged an unbreakable bond among them, one that transcended the ordinary friendships of their lives. Over time, Alex became an advocate for paranormal research, using their knowledge and experiences to investigate and document supernatural phenomena. They dedicated their life to uncovering the mysteries that lurked in the shadows, always approaching each investigation with the same blend of skepticism and curiosity that had guided them through the ghostly apparitions haunting in Willowbrook. The town continued to thrive, its reputation now intertwined with the mansion's story of redemption. Visitors came from far and wide to hear the tale and to see the mirror that had played a pivotal role in setting Evelyn's spirit free. The mansion itself, no longer a place of dread, was carefully preserved as a historical landmark, a testament to the power of forgiveness and the resilience of the human spirit. As the years passed, the mirror in the mansion's hidden chamber remained a symbol of hope and closure. It served as a reminder that even in the darkest of places, there could be redemption and release, and that the boundaries between the living and the supernatural were not always as rigid as they seemed. The friends, scattered by life's twists and turns, continued to stay in touch, gathering occasionally to reminisce about their extraordinary adventure. They knew that they had been a part of something truly remarkable, something that transcended the realm of the ordinary and delved into the mysterious and the inexplicable, and so, the legend of the ghostly apparition and the group of friends who dared to confront it became a part of Willowbrook's folklore, a story told to generations as a lesson in courage, compassion, and the enduring power of the human spirit. In the end, the town of Willowbrook was forever changed by the events of that night. As were the lives of the friends who had embarked on a journey to uncover the truth behind the chilling legend of the ghostly apparition. As the years passed, Alex's reputation as a paranormal investigator grew far beyond the town of Willowbrook. They authored books, appeared on television shows, and gave lectures around the world. Their experiences at the mansion were a pivotal part of their career, and they often returned to Willowbrook to share their knowledge and discoveries. One summer, a letter arrived at Alex's doorstep. It was from a distant relative, Eleanor, who lived in a remote village in England. She had heard of Alex's expertise in the paranormal and pleaded for their help. Eleanor had recently moved into an old manor, and her family was tormented by unsettling apparitions and unexplained phenomena. She believed her ancestral home held a dark secret that needed to be unraveled. With a sense of duty and curiosity, Alex embarked on a journey to England, accompanied by a few trusted colleagues. Upon arriving at the village, they were greeted with a sense of unease that hung in the air. The manor, nestled atop a hill, loomed like a shadowy sentinel. Eleanor welcomed them with a mix of desperation and relief. She recounted stories of ghostly figures that wandered the halls, strange noises in the dead of night, and an oppressive atmosphere that permeated every room. Alex recognized the signs of a haunting and set about investigating the manor's history. As they delved into the archives and spoke to villagers, a disturbing narrative emerged. The manor had once belonged to a powerful family known for their dark dealings and ruthless ambitions. Legend spoke of a malevolent ancestor, Lord Nathaniel, who had made a pact with dark forces to attain wealth and power. Lord Nathaniel's unholy alliance had come at a terrible cost. The manor became a nexus of malevolent energy, harboring vengeful spirits and maleficent entities. His family had been cursed for generations, and it seemed that the curse now afflicted Eleanor's household. Alex and their team conducted extensive investigations, using advanced equipment to capture evidence of the supernatural. They experienced chilling encounters with apparitions and witnessed objects moving of their own accord. It became clear that the manor was indeed haunted by restless spirits, just as they had done in Willowbrook. Alex delved into the history of the manor, searching for clues to break the curse that bound the vengeful spirits. They discovered a hidden chamber, sealed for centuries, beneath the manor. Within it lay a mirror, much like the one in the ghostly apparition's mansion. The mirror bore the same cryptic symbols as its counterpart, and Alex realized that they needed to perform a ritual similar to the one that had freed Evelyn's spirit. With Eleanor's consent, they prepared for the ritual, gathering in the chamber with the mirror. As the incantation began, the atmosphere grew oppressive. The spirits manifested, their spectral forms twisting and contorting with anger. But Alex and their team pressed on, their determination unwavering. They chanted the words of release, urging the spirits to find peace. The ritual reached its climax, and the manor quaked as the curse's grip began to loosen. The spirits, no longer bound by malevolence, let out anguished wails before dissolving into shimmering mist. The mirror, once a conduit of darkness, shattered into fragments. Eleanor, standing beside Alex, felt the weight of the generations-old curse lifting from her family. Tears of relief streamed down her face as she thanked Alex and their team for their bravery and expertise. In the days that followed, the manor underwent a transformation. The heavy atmosphere that had plagued it for centuries lifted, and the once haunted halls were filled with light and warmth. Eleanor's family reclaimed their home, and the manor was no longer a place of dread but a sanctuary of peace. Alex and their colleagues bid farewell to Eleanor and returned to Willowbrook, their journey to England having brought them face to face with another dark chapter of the paranormal. They knew that their work was far from over, and they continued to explore the mysteries of the supernatural, driven by a profound understanding that there was much more to the world than met the EYE. In Willowbrook, the legend of the ghostly apparition lived on, intertwining with the tale of the English manor. The friends who had ventured into the mansion's depths and their intrepid leader, Alex, remained a source of inspiration for those who sought to confront the unknown and bring light to the darkest corners of existence, and so, the stories of the ghostly apparition and the haunted English manor became part of a larger narrative, a tapestry of courage, compassion, and the enduring quest for understanding in a world where the line between the living and the dead was often blurred. As the years rolled on, Alex's reputation as a paranormal investigator reached new heights. They became a renowned figure in the field, known not only for their fearless pursuit of the unknown but also for their empathetic approach to understanding the spirits they encountered. Alex's career took them to various corners of the world, where they unraveled mysteries, helped tormented souls find peace, and documented the supernatural with a scientific rigor that earned them the respect of skeptics and believers alike. One winter's evening, as Alex sifted through their growing collection of research, they received a cryptic letter. It bore no return address and was sealed with an unusual wax emblem, an intricate design resembling ancient runes. The message inside was brief yet enigmatic: "Come to the forgotten town of Wraithmoor. The past calls to you." Intrigued by the mysterious summons, Alex gathered their equipment and embarked on a journey to Wraithmoor, a place they had never heard of before. It was a town shrouded in mist and folklore, its history veiled in secrets, and its very existence known to only a handful. Wraithmoor was unlike any place Alex had encountered in their travels. The town appeared frozen in time, its cobblestone streets eerily empty, and its buildings draped in shadows. An air of melancholy permeated the atmosphere, and the townspeople who dared to meet their gaze did so with a haunted look. Following the cryptic message, Alex made their way to the heart of Wraithmoor, where a looming mansion stood, a mansion that seemed to draw the very essence of darkness to itself. The structure was unlike anything they had encountered before, its architecture an unsettling blend of Gothic and otherworldly design. The townspeople spoke of the mansion only in hushed tones, referring to it as the eternal enigma. They claimed that it held the answers to their town's dark past and the eerie events that had plagued Wraithmoor for generations. Alex's reputation had preceded them, and the townspeople beseeched their help. They recounted tales of spectral apparitions that roamed the streets at night, of unexplainable phenomena that defied rationality, and of an ancient curse that had befallen their town. With each story, Alex became more convinced that the enigmatic mansion held the key to unraveling Wraithmoor's mysteries. The time had come to confront the supernatural once more, to understand the past that called out to them. As Alex entered the mansion, they felt an overwhelming presence, an intelligence that seemed to pulse with malevolence. The very walls of the mansion whispered secrets, and the air was charged with an unnatural energy. Exploring the mansion's shadowy corridors, Alex discovered a room concealed behind a locked door, a room that contained a mirror, similar to the ones they had encountered in the past. The mirror bore the same cryptic symbols as the others, but its surface was marred with cracks and imperfections. It was in this room that the spirits of Wraithmoor's tormented past began to materialize. Apparitions of townspeople long gone, their faces etched with sorrow, wandered aimlessly, their voices echoing tales of betrayal, injustice, and anguish. Alex knew that the only way to break the curse that bound Wraithmoor was to perform a ritual of release, much like the ones they had conducted before. With the help of the townspeople, who had placed their trust in them, Alex initiated the ritual. As the incantation began, the mansion trembled, and the very fabric of reality seemed to warp. The apparition's wails grew louder, and the malevolent presence within the mansion fought to retain its hold. But Alex and the townspeople stood firm, their determination unwavering. The ritual reached its zenith, and a blinding light engulfed the room. The curse that had plagued Wraithmoor for generations began to unravel, and the spirits found solace in the embrace of the light. The mirror, the source of their torment, shattered into countless pieces. As the light subsided, Wraithmoor emerged from the shadows, transformed. The melancholy that had hung in the air lifted, and the townspeople, once haunted by their past, now found a sense of closure and peace. The curse was broken, and the town's dark history was finally unveiled. Alex, their mission complete, bid farewell to Wraithmoor, knowing that they had played a pivotal role in freeing the town from its torment. They carried with them the knowledge that the supernatural was a force to be reckoned with, but also that it could be understood and, in some cases, appeased. In the years that followed, Alex continued their work as a paranormal investigator, but Wraithmoor remained a place of reverence, a reminder that even in the most enigmatic and haunted of places, there was hope for redemption and release. And so, the legend of Alex and their encounters with the supernatural continued to grow, evolving with each new investigation. They knew that the mysteries of the world were infinite, and that the quest for understanding would always call them to explore the uncharted realms of the paranormal. With this story ends here. If you like the story, then like the video and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to pass it so that you keep getting such interesting stories. Thank you.